Lewin's three-step change model is something a business can use to introduce change. It's different to Lewin's force field theory. So there's two Lewin topics in Unit 4. So an easy mistake is to get one confused with the other. And yeah, you're not going to get any marks if you talk about the wrong thing at the wrong time. So let's look at some possible questions. Could be just a general question. It says there was one on a past exam that said, explain how following a change model can assist with a business implementing a change successfully. And it's like when it says a change model, it sort of tells us or makes you think, is there more than one? Did we learn more than one? No, we just did the one. So basically that question is saying, explain how following Lewin's change model can assist a business with implementing change successfully. We also might be asked to, this is a pretty common exam question, describe, explain or outline how the model works. And also really important, I think, is being able to apply it to a business, either one they give us in the exam or maybe one that we are familiar with. So first of all, the first bit, how does following this model help implement change? And we want to say something like, it's good because it's a systematic process. We can follow this when we want to implement a change. And how it effectively allows the business to implement change is it's very clear. It's got 3 clear steps, and we use a metaphor. We say step 1 is unfreeze. The business, we must unfreeze it from its current shape or form, so that pretending it's a square block of ice. Get a hairdryer, melt it down to unfreeze. Then, when we have it in a nice sort of melted a bit and we can move it around and manipulate it, we need to change, or some textbooks say move, same thing. Now the ice block is melted, change the shape of it into the form you want. And then we need to refreeze it. So now it's back. So we've changed it to say it was a square or a rectangle. We change the shape. Now it's a triangle. Refreeze it. Chuck it back in the freezer so it's set in the new position. And then we need to remember that this process is continual. Lewin doesn't say that's it. We're changed forever. He says that doesn't mean we're set forever. We've got to begin the process again and looking to unfreeze all the time. So there we go. We've got a nice clear change model that will help us change. What about each of the steps? Well, that's not too difficult. We just need to remember what it means. So step 1, unfreeze. Before any change is implemented, we've got to prepare the business and the people for it. And what we want to do is be able to say some things that you could actually do as the person in charge here. You could, first of all, figure out what needs to be changed. Challenge the current beliefs. So like in Sengi's mental models. Create reasons for change. Create more driving than restraining forces. But this one, create a vision for the future. That's how you unfreeze. You get people to see what the future will look like. And also this one, create a sense of urgency. People often change when they're pitched with, things that are kind of urgent. So e.g. sales are down, market share's down, etc. And we need to change. Step 2, now you need to actually change or move. So that's actually got to introduce the change itself. And we're going to need to come up with some new processes and practices here. Specifically, what could you do? Well, you got to get feedback and ideas from people. So they're the ones that are going to help decide what needs to change. Ensure all the relevant stakeholders are notified and supportive of it. Don't spring it on people. This one's really important. Devote the resources to it. Don't just want to change. Throw some money, people, labor, equipment, whatever it needs to implement the change successfully we've got to do. And we also use these leverage strategies of communication, empowerment, support, and incentives to overcome the change. And that will remove any obstacles. Lastly, step 3 is refreeze. The change is stabilized and becomes the new normal. All employees do things the new way and the old ways are forgotten. What can we do? We can make these changes official by having set policies and procedures now. You have to do it this way, for example. Provide ongoing training. That's a good one. Recognize and reward people and celebrate short-term wins. So that's an example of, you can reward people who do things the new way, for example, and celebrate people